Hi, welcome to today's review, which is about the epic mega hit Ponniyin Selvan, which of course has the sequel coming out, I believe, in the last week of April, which is very exciting. So I've decided to go back and review the first movie, which was released in 2022 and of course was directed by the one and only Ratnam, and it's got a massive loaded cast with it being led by Vikram and Aishwarya Rai, who really have commanding on-screen presence. It's also narrated by Kamal Hassan and is headlined with the music being done by Rahman, who of course always does a fantastic job, and when he's involved you know that it's just going to be a full sensory experience. So Ponniyin Selvan was actually based upon fictional work which was written by Karthi Krishnamurti, and it spanned over 2,200 pages, was actually serialized between 1950 and 1954 in a magazine called Karthi before it was compiled into a series of books. So it's based between around, I think, 900 and 950 AD. It's during the Chola dynasty's rule, where there's Emperor Chosa who's ruling, and it focuses on the emperor as well as his two sons. So his first son, Aditya Karikalan, he's focused on the empire of Kanchi, and then his other son, Arulmozi Varman Ponniyin Selvan, who's focused on the empire of Lanka. So to start with, there's a lot of a theme of conspiracies through the movie. So with the power involved with running an empire, you know that eventually you'll run into trouble, and that is what happens in this film. So Karikalan, he first senses something's wrong with the advisors that are involved with his father, the emperor. So he actually sends the Prince Vandiyadevan to investigate, and he wants this prince to give the info to his sister, Princess Kundavai, and also his father, the emperor. So sort of, it's a long movie, but fairly early on, they establish a really strong ensemble cast who they all have prominent roles to play. And as the movie goes on, you see they all sort of become intertwined to have distinct meaning within the storyline. So he as in Vandiyadevan, he becomes central to the story after he hears a plot to stop Karikalan from being able to take the throne, and instead having it done by his uncle, Muduratanka Chola. So this sort of leads him to try to get things sorted out to stop that happening, and along the way he also meets a Vaishnavite called Nambi, who is a bit of a quirky on-screen presence and kind of gives a bit of light comic relief along the way, but at the same time he also has meaning to the storyline. So basically what happens is, as it goes on, you see that there's the two princes, and although they are concerned with two different empires, basically as it goes on it becomes more apparent that the emperor's advisors, they are trying to take away the power from that whole family. And it's really, while you're watching it, you can tell that this is a book that was very long, as the movie, bearing in mind it's only part one, the movie is long. However, it tells a fantastically detailed, in-depth narrative, and the story itself aside, it's a fantastic movie to watch just for the great detail that goes into the outfits even the actors are wearing, the props involved, just the visual appeal of the movie. There's just so much, like I say, so much detail paid, even to the materials used. The makeup involved on the production's fantastic. So it's equally enjoyable for both the story and for the visual appeal, and of course A.R. Rahman's fantastic involvement with the audio aspects of the film. And as it goes on, you get to see the Prince Vandia Devon. Also, he gets to know Ponniyin Selvan, and as it leads into the latter part of the movie, you see that they form a really good alliance, and this results in, of course, the prince disguising himself as Ponniyin Selvan himself to be able to escape. So there's a lot going on in the storyline that sort of makes it a bit harder to keep track of. Sometimes I had to pause the movie just to sort of go through in my head, and as I'm reviewing it, I'm recalling like just how much is going on. But when you take that time and you sort of let it absorb, it's a fantastic story, and especially how it ends, because I know when I was watching it, you're getting sort of very tense, like, oh, what's going to happen? And then as it ends, you go, oh, and then you see that it's leading into part two. So of course you've got that massive anticipation, and the acting that's involved, it's fantastic. As you've got Nandini, and you know that when Aishwarya is involved, she's going to do a good job. She has a very strong, almost regal sort of on-screen presence, which is really good. And Vikram also does a great job, as does everyone involved. And it's nice to see such a variety of characters and how they do all have relevance to each other. So all in all, Ponniyin Selvan, it was part one, it was fantastic. And as you sort of read through even the text, and you can find summaries of the family trees of all the characters, and it's really cool, it's really interesting to do that. You read that, how they're all intertwined from the text, the original stories, and then how you can relate it back to the film to make it all sort of make more sense, and it gets you really excited for the second part. So if you haven't seen the first part yet and you're thinking you might like to see the second part, definitely get into it. It's a great movie. As I say, it is quite lengthy, and it is a true epic tale, hence why it's broken up into two parts. But it's fantastic, and it is worth the effort, and I'm really excited about seeing part two. So thanks for watching.